Welcome to episode 30 of Just One More Topic. That's right, it's the new episode, and I am Tridrakious.
I am Rarbagels.
I am an airplane. I am Tiborius.
It's been a while since
It has. I haven't got to say that in a bit.
Yeah. So, this episode we are talking about what you want us to talk about. And
We've gotten some good responses.
yeah, I was surprised. Thank you for sending in your topics, your suggestions, and actually being active.
Yeah.
Constructive.
Who would have thought people actually watched what we thought?
Let's see. Now, the first one we wanted to touch on comes from Falgaron, and I hope I'm saying that correctly.
We all do.
Yes.
He wants, or she wants,
Falgaron
wants us to bring in the Watch Dogs devs to talk about the game, and we agree that would be absolutely amazing to do.
Agreed.
Yeah. So for episode 31, we are going to be talking about... No,
we couldn't. Sorry.
There's a little problem. We're in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
And we don't know any of the guys at Ubisoft personally. Although if somebody wants to make a little bit of...
Yeah. We also don't have the funding or the clout to bring people from Montreal to Oklahoma to talk about anything.
You couldn't just fly him here?
No, it wasn't in the annual budget.
Yeah.
Ever.
I was going to say, when did we get a budget? Okay, but for the actual topic, we will be able to talk about, and we're going to kind of talk,
We're going to cram them in a little bit.
Call of Duty Lifer wants us to talk about Call of Duty Ghosts.
Also our Black Ops 2 experience.
And we got another person by the name of Fries, and there was 4 digits that I don't remember. Didn't leave the comment on YouTube, but I talked to the person. Wants us to talk about, and I think this is a topic we should really focus on, is spawn camping a legitimate strategy?
Well, let's think about this. Does it work?
Yes.
Sadly, that probably makes it a legitimate strategy. Now, as far as frustrations, yeah, I get it, but really it's kind of up to the game's coding, and this goes back into Call of Duty. On Call of Duty, it is, with every iteration, progressively much harder to spawn camp because of random spawns and being able to sense when enemies are near and all that. I'll tell you a game that handled it well, Homefront. You could spawn kill. I mean, it happened actually quite a bit. You would pop into a being and get blown away. However, the enemy didn't get any points for it whatsoever, and that game it was relatively easy to turn the tables and do it back, so it wasn't a big deal. But honestly, spawn camping, if it's happening in the game, a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of communication, maybe a blast shield.
Whoa, communication in an online first-person shooter?
I know, right? Ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you'll get a couple of kills out of it, and then you're gone. It's just not as easy to nail down spawn points anymore.
But the real thing to talk about is, even though Homefront seemed to have really start to make progress into fixing it, THQ went bankrupt.
Yeah.
So apparently the gamers want spawn camping, no matter how much you hate it. You let THQ die.
Well, a lot of it is on developers. What do you think all those patches are for now? I mean, we are the beta testing generation.
Very much so. But what do you think of the spawn camping?
Well, I mean, you pretty much said it all. It's really down to the game's coding. If you can do it, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing it. So
right. Yeah,
I guess it's legitimate. It might not be very nice, and you might get, a few of the young ones shouting for retribution.
Well, let's face it. Okay, hang on. In Call of Duty, do you use any of the weapons? Do you use any of the perks?
Yes.
Do you get a kill?
Yes.
Do you die?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're a noob.
No matter what you do in these first-person shooters, no matter how good you are or how bad you are, no matter what happens, it's always somebody else's fault for why you suck.
Yeah.
So,
that makes sense. Which kind of turns us in. What do we think of Call of Duty Ghosts? My personal opinion on it. It's Call of Duty. And there's a dog with really good-looking features.
Like fur.
Yeah.
And well, you guys saw the E3, the whole
honestly,
unveiling.
Outside of that, yeah, it's cool. They're changing up the maps in multiplayer. I hope the story's as good as the Modern Warfare series, but guys, it's Call of Duty.
It's gonna be what you expect out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be exactly what you're buying into is Call of Duty. It's kind of like, gee, I want a hamburger. I wonder if it'll taste like chicken. No, it tastes like a hamburger.
Well, yeah, unless you get a chicken burger, but then it's not that's not a hamburger. I was getting to
that. But and then as far as personal Black Ops 2 experiences,
I don't have any.
It was Call of Duty with occasional zombies. I don't have any interesting stories about Black Ops 2. All Call of Duty blurs together.
Yeah, because that's really all it is. I mean, Call of Duty is the first-person shooter as of right now.
The industry standard.
Yep. It's been that way since Call of Duty 4.
Yep.
The first Modern Warfare.
Infinity Ward started something that the creators got kicked out of.
Yeah, Juggernaut Behemoth. What can you say? And now we did have one from longtime viewer, commenter, and pal, James Martin. Wants to know...
PJ Gamers.
Yep. How we feel about backwards compatibility, and thank you, James. That is a good question.
We've had this this topic kind of rummaging around for a little while now, for I'd say 15 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about it for quite a bit. I mean, especially with the next gen talk and all that stuff.
We might go long here because this is a topic that needs to be done. I think basic standard from art is it's bad.
Yeah.
Now, and here's several reasons why. Go, Michael.
Grain of salt, which is the fact that backwards compatibility, for one, can hold back the console's graphical updates. Just because you're trying to make sure that your games are going to work on your new system, you have to make technology that is compatible. And without spending a ton of extra money, you're not going to be able to do as many graphical updates as you would if you just go ahead and go for the graphics and leave backwards compatibility behind you.
Thank you very much for our makers.
Really one, not necessarily because of the game, but when the PlayStation 3 launched, it was $600.
Yep.
Now, not because of backwards compatibility. That wasn't the only reason. I mean,
no, it helped, but Sony felt because the PlayStation 2 is backwards compatible with PlayStation 1, Sony felt they needed to keep that alive. The problem with that is, and the easiest way I can explain it is, put a Betamax into your Blu-ray player. Does it work?
No.
Now, okay, that is a very wide blanket, but yes, okay, they're both discs, but it's not the same thing. When they develop these new systems, there are brand new hardware, firmware, malware, all kinds of wear, underwear. There's all kinds of wear.
That's the Xbox One with the underwear.
But the bottom line, it is not that simple. So when they made the PS3, they put a PS2 into it.
The Motion Engine was on the same motherboard as the cell processor. Whenever you tried to play a PlayStation 2 game, the cell processor mostly shut itself off, and you were playing a PS2. You even had to turn the controller back on.
The process of the console just to work. So naturally, when people started complaining, hey, we want a lower system, okay, get rid of that. That was one of the first things to go. Drop a bunch of USB ports. Couldn't remember those letters. But now the PS1 games still work, but that was already held over. It didn't take up nearly as much space.
And so inexpensive to keep going.
Yeah.
CD technology has, I mean, except for when it first launched, now it's just something where it's like, yeah, those parts are like dirt cheap.
But begging your new consoles to be backwards compatible, A, is only really relevant the first couple of years of the console's life as it gets the library built up. B, it's just stupid. You can't make that a deal breaker. I know so many people are like, oh, well, it's not going to be backwards compatible. I don't want to buy it. Why? If all you want is a machine to play those games, you probably have it already. You want to pay less money per console, and I brought this up several times. The Atari, when it came out, $400.
Yeah.
Let's see, the new PlayStation 4, $400. Prices have not gone up, but look at the machine you're getting. If I hand you, except for, yes, you know what I'm saying. If I hand you an Atari 2600 and hand you a PS4, they're the exact same price. Which one are you going to buy?
The Odyssey 2. No.
You need to get you there.
So
thanks again.
Well, hey.
Anyway, don't be begging for backwards compatibility. Hang on to your systems, love them. It's one of those things that if they decide to throw it in, that is a godsend and you should be thankful for it. But do not demand it out of people if you're not willing to pony up the extra money it's going to cost for it. Sony learned that lesson really well.
I would also say that especially with the ability to download games, Now, you don't need that same backwards compatibility.
No, and although it does suck that, yes, like say the PS4 is going to stream PS3 games once Gaikai gets up and working fully. Yeah, okay, say I already own, Ghostbusters. I already own it. Cool. Hey, I really want to play it now. You know, it's 5 years from now. I really want to play it. Oh, I can stream it. Yeah, it sucks I have to pay for it more again, but I still probably have my PS3 sitting around. I don't know. It's a great thing to get if you're looking to jump in on some of the old stuff you love, but...
Yeah. For collectors, the market to collect these games is a much smaller market, but for those who are jumping into the next generation as soon as it launches, are probably not going to necessarily be focusing on the PS3 games. Because they're wanting to play the new stuff.
Yeah, like, you've already... I mean, people that generally buy stuff launch day one, you've got most of this.
Yeah.
You've played most of this. You want something new, exciting. If not, you're still playing this and you're waiting a few months while they work out the bugs.
So, and of course, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are going to be launching with some very killer games, so you're probably not going to be missing this generation as much as...
This is going to be one of the strongest new-gen launches as far as just content to play.
And a lot of big titles launching all at the same time at the very beginning.
Call of Duty Ghosts. There you go, Call of Duty Lifer.
Bam!
Easy to jump into the next generation because you'll be playing the same exact game no matter what platform you have. So...
Backwards compatibility. No.
It's good. If it's there, great.
But yeah, if I've got to pay extra for it, no, I don't want you to waste the time on it because I'm buying your new system to play the new stuff.
Yeah, focus on the new one.
And that was episode 30. We will come back next week for episode 31.
Okay.
I have been Tridrakious.
Roy Bagel.
Out to Boris.
See you next week.